Hey YouTube world, and happy Wednesday. So I was going to do a quick little story time video, and I was debating on if I was going to do it, and I know my roots look terrible, so that's the thing. So this story time video takes place back when I was in college. And I didn't go to college for too long. I was there for probably a semester. But I'm going to preface the story by saying I'm not going to say anyone's names that was involved in this story. It was kind of crazy. If you were my friend or if you were there, you obviously know you're involved, but there's no reason to blast people. So let's get started. So when I started, probably when I turned 18 and one of my really close friends turned 18, we started going clubbing. We were constantly at local clubs, we were hanging out. We didn't really drink or anything, we were just really into partying and hanging out with older people and dancing and just having a lot of fun. So that's just kind of what we were into. So when we left high school and we started college, we were super excited because we can get invited to all these parties and hang out with more of these people. We were just really excited. So we got to college. She went to a different college. I went to a college, a local college. And we sat down and we're like, okay, we need to find a party. So we started looking around, we started thinking, and all of a sudden one of our other friends who was pledging for a fraternity, he was like, oh my god, we're having this house party, you guys should come, let me add you on Facebook, you can come. And we're like, yeah, sweet, awesome, our first college party, we're really excited, we're really turned. And we get this invitation, it's a Halloween, costume party kind of thing, but at a house, so it's a house party. And we're like, sweet, awesome. So it comes up, and we got invited, when the school year started. So, the rest of August, and then September, and then probably a week before Halloween, we go, what are we gonna wear to this party? Because we don't want to actually buy costumes, because that's really lame, but you can't show up without a costume, and we're just, freaking out. We're like, what do we do? So she ends up being smart, and, going to the store, and, buys this dress, and she's like, it's, this slutty, not as slutty, but kind of slutty, black dress, and, throws a, black lipstick on, and, a witch hat, and goes, I'm a witch. And I was like, genius, awesome. So my dumbass waits until literally 2 days before this party, and I go, I still have nothing to wear. So I rip my closet apart, I'm throwing things on the floor, I'm throwing things on my bed, my room looks like a disaster, and my roommate's standing there looking at me like I'm a fucking maniac, which I probably looked like a fucking maniac. So I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to myself, and I was like, what do I wear, what do I do, what do I do, and I'm trying to find all these things, and it sucked. So I ended up finding this blue silk dress, and it was really, really long, so it was kind of like a Cinderella princess kind of dress. So I found that, and I was like, I can work with this. And I just took a pair of fabric scissors, and I just chopped it, all the way off. So it was short, super short. And to make it worse, I put a tutu, a skirt kind of thing. It was a see-through black kind of skirt thing on underneath it, and then it had really small spaghetti straps, and it was low cut, but it pushed my boobs up, so my boobs looked huge. So I'm sitting there in this dress, and I'm like, I look bomb as fuck. My booty looked bomb, my boobs looked bomb, my makeup was bomb, I had my hair curled in these really big curls, and everything was just big and really pretty. And then I was like, what am I besides a slut in a blue dress? Didn't think that one through. So my friend who I'm going to the party with goes, oh my god, just go to the dollar store and go get some wings and say you're a fairy. And I was like, yes, bitch, yes. So I went to all the dollar stores, I went to the Walmarts, everything was sold out, because now it's the day before the party. Everything is sold out, nothing is there. I was super excited, I had my game plan up, and literally there's nothing. And then I went to the party store, because I'm like, okay, party stores have to have things. And then they're like, $20 for these wings. And I was like, bitch, no. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make up this story and I'm going to tell people. And she's like, what are you going to say? And I was like, I'm just going to say that I'm a naughty fairy who lost her wings. And leave it at that. No one's going to question that. So everyone's going to be like, oh, okay, cool, ha ha ha. So I was like, I'm set. I'm golden. That's all I have to do. So we decide that, she decides basically, because she doesn't want to drink, she wants to be the DD. So we go to this house party. And this house party is packed full of people. Costumes. This guy's literally wearing like a gladiator like cape. This guy's Tarzan with just like loincloth. Like it was crazy. And you know, there's like this upstairs, like this garage area a lot of people are chilling in, and I smoke, so I was like, cool, like I'm just gonna hang outside with these peeps and I'm gonna smoke and it's gonna be great. And this guy is hitting on me, like hardcore hitting on me. Like he's over here, he was like, hey, you know, let me give you a cigarette, look like you could use another one, and you know, hey, here's, you know, pulls out like this bottle and it's like, hey, take a couple sips, like it's really good. And I'm sitting here and I was like, you know what, in all retrospect, you should not take drinks or cigarettes or anything from strangers. But me going, oh my god, this dude is so nice, like that's so nice of him, like me being an idiot. So I'm drinking with this guy, we're smoking with this guy, we're talking, and he keeps like, you know, touching my shoulders, oh my god, like you're so sexy, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my god, thanks. So my friend who wasn't drinking gets cold because, you know, it's October, so it's cold. She gets freezing. She was like, let's go inside, please. And I was like, sure. So like we go downstairs and we see our friend who invited us and we're hanging out with him. We're like, hey, what's up? He is plastered. It's like, you know, 11 o'clock at night and he's like, you know, done. And so we're downstairs and they have like these big tables and they're full of alcohol and they're full of, you know, just drinks and food and blah, blah, blah. So they have all of this music playing. And so we're dancing, we're listening to music, blah, blah, blah. We go back outside and we see the guy. And we see this guy talking to some girl who was in one of my classes in college. And, you know, they're talking and he's doing the exact same thing. Like he's hitting on her, he's like touching her hair, he's like touching her shoulder, he's like, oh my god, you're so pretty. And I was like, okay. And by this time I'm like making friends, I'm with my friends, like I'm just having a bomb ass time. I am a liquored off my ass. Like I just feel, thanks hair, I just feel great. So I don't even care about this dude until we're all in the basement. The lights are off, we're all dancing, there's like glow sticks going on, there's all of this just random shit going on, where it's like, yes. And my colleague, acquaintance, something like that, from this class comes down with this guy around her, basically her vagina, like he is attached to her. And, you know, she comes over to me, she starts to talk to me, and he like keeps looking at me like, do I know you? And I was like, yes, bitch. Like, you were literally just on my dick like 20 minutes ago. What? Cool. So, they're down there, blah, blah, blah. Well, our friend who originally invited us to this party was dating another friend, and he ends up, like, going AWOL. Like, this motherfucker is gone. And so, we're outside trying to find him. I am so drunk that, like, I don't think anything I was doing was helping the situation. And so we end up finding out he went to another party. So we're like, okay, we're just going to swing by that other party. We're going to check it out. We're going to see if he's okay. And then we're just going to leave. We're going to go to, like, see some other people or whatever. So we're sitting by this party. And as we're getting in the car from the house party, there's, like, 3 super drunk dudes running to the car and saying, you can't drive. You've been drinking. You can't drive. And my friend, whose car it was and who was driving, turns around and goes, I'm sober. And they're like, oh, will you give us a ride? And she's like, no, leave. Well, as we're getting in the car, this dude, drunk-ass dude, jumps in the car. Just like in the passenger seat where I'm supposed to be sitting. I'm sitting outside the car going, bitch, what? And he's like, yeah, let's go. You're taking me. And meanwhile, we have the colleague, the girl from my class, her friend or whatever, and then the guy who was hitting on me and her in the back of the car. So there's no more room in this little 2-door car. Like, we're fucked. And so this dude is like, you know, fuck it, I have to go there. Like, you're gonna make me walk, blah, blah, blah. You're a bitch. And I was like, if you don't get the fuck out of this car, I'm going to stab your ass. Like, bitch, move. So we eventually, like, hassle him out of this car, and the guy in the back's like, dude, just fucking get out of here. Like, dude, leave. So we eventually get him out of the car. We drive to the frat house, is where our other friend was apparently at a frat house. So we get to the frat house, we pull up, and all of a sudden, the 3 girls, that is not my friend, the 3 drunk girls, are like, including myself, I'm one of them, we're like, I have to fucking pee. So, the guy who was in the back of the car was going there anyway, and he, like, already knew the frat house. He goes, okay, I'll take you up to a bathroom, like a public bathroom. And we're like, cool. So we go up to this bathroom, we're using the bathroom, like, we're all in there giggling as fuck, like, we're crazy. And, we get down, and my friend and I were like, hey, we're gonna leave, like, we're just gonna go, like, McDonald's or something, get some food, and then we're gonna go see some friends from shows, basically, from, like, musical theater in, like, the area. And they're like, yeah, okay, cool. So, we're leaving, we get in the car, and we're gonna go to there's, like, a club across the street, so we're like, hey, let's just go in there. And all of a sudden, like, fire trucks, police cars, like, the fucking SWAT team, everyone just, like, flocks. And people are, like, running, people are jumping off back porches, people are, like, like, it's crazy. And so we're like, maybe we won't. So we ended up, like, walking, we stayed in the car, and then we drove to the other place we were gonna go. Meanwhile, I'm in the passenger seat, I'm texting all these people I met at the party before, people that, you know, I knew were, God, my hair, people that I knew were going to these parties. I'm, like, texting all of them, and I was like, hey, you know, cops at blah, 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 watch out, blah, 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 cops out, blah, blah, blah. And people are texting me back, like, girl, thanks, I was on my way there, like, oh my god, crazy, like, are people getting arrested? And I was like, I don't know, I didn't fucking stick around. So we go to McDonald's, we get some food, and we end up going to this other party. And the other party was chill. I mean, it was older people, so it wasn't, like, college age, it was more like 25 something. Basically sitting in the backyard drinking a beer. And I show up looking like a slutty fairy without wings. So just a slut in a blue dress. And we're standing outside, and they start, you know, they offer me a beer. I'm like, cool. So I'm, like, having a beer, and I'm chilling with them outside, and my friend's with them, and we're all outside. And they start saying, like, really crappy pickup lines, like, oh, what would you do if someone said this to you? Or what would you do if, you know, blah, 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 and they'd say something. And I was just laughing. Like, I couldn't stop laughing, because it was just so genuinely funny to me, and I was so not sober that I was, like, everything out of these guys' mouths, I was just like, like, I looked like an idiot. So, she ends up dropping me off at home. I go to bed, I sober up, my roommate buys me a bunch of, because I can't eat greasy food like normal people in the morning, like, I have to eat, like, fresh food. So, I wake up, and my roommate and her friend had gotten me, like, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, and chips. And I was like, oh, cool, like, this is awesome. And I'm, like, have this worst hangover, and I'm sitting there, and that was the end of that night. Now, fast forward 5 months. I'm working at a store in the mall, and I see the girl at the party, who was at the party, the girl who I had in a class in college. And by this time, I'd already dropped out of college, I was already working, doing my thing, blah, blah, blah. Hadn't talked to literally anyone from college since then, maybe, like, 1 or 2 people. And she comes up to me, pregnant. And I was like, you know, oh my god, it's so good to see you, how are you? And she was like, oh, I'm really good. And I was like, how's college going? She goes, I don't know, I dropped out. And I was like, why did you drop out? And she goes, I got pregnant, like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. And she goes, she was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so how far along are you? And she was like, oh, 5 months on the whatever. And I'm seeing her, and she's like walking away, and I was like, hey, was it that guy that was hitting on both of us at that party? And she was like, yeah, he's much cuter drunk. And walks away. So I don't know if I should feel bad, if I should laugh, if I should cry. I'm like flipping out right now. So this girl got pregnant by that guy. That night, literally that night that he was hitting on me, fucked her, knocked her up. What? And so I told my friend who was at that party, I'm like, you will not fucking believe this. And she was like, I knew he was a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And it was literally the best. So I have a lot more college-y stories, not as like fun, I guess, just kind of like everyday college-y stories of me just fucking up my life. If you want to hear any of those are all pretty nice. But yeah, college for a semester wasn't too bad, but it also wasn't too good to me. So we will go ahead and address that later, I guess. Alright guys, you have a great rest of your Wednesday. This is Kimberly signing off.